Hi everybody and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Hot Wheels custom Ford Bronco, which is based on the real thing from 66 to 77. These were produced by Hot Wheels from 2008 until 2022. Mine's one of the later additions from the Baja Blazers series. It was a co-design casting between Hot Wheels designers Mark Jones and John Violette. The original illustration for the casting was created by Jones, and Violette then took the design and turned it into the 3D form. This is my entry into the Diecast International Builders 4x4 Invitational. I like the DIBs guys, they're all good friends of mine and supporters of the channel, so I'm happy to jump in and join them when it fits my schedule as well, and I hope you'll watch all of the other builds on this theme this month. Did you know this Hot Wheels casting has been modified 3 times? The 2008 original had metal wheel wells and fenders. In 2014, these became part of the plastic interior and base. In 2016, both the metal casting and the plastic rollbar piece were modified, and the wheel on the back became part of the interior assembly. I've got a short post in the back of this Bronco, and so I needed to cut about half of the threads off of my 256 Phillips self-tapping screw, which means I could drill a more shallow post and still get a good grip. Coming up soon on my channel, on June 15th, the Diecast Mafia has an Alzheimer's awareness build. I've got a buddy build with Paco's Diecast Garage on the 18th, and to kick off July, it's Canada Day, and you're invited to participate in the All-Canadian Custom Diecast Invitational. You just gotta make your casting red and white, like the Canadian flag. I hope you'll join in. I'll put a promo update on my channel real soon. My Wicked paint stripper makes fast work out of the Hot Wheels paint job, and I go to work on another project in the meantime, and that's taking off the silly looking push bar and winch, all plastic, from the front of my original casting. And out of the stripper, there's usually some stubborn, resilient paint, and I find that comes off very easily with my Dremel wire brush attachments, and sometimes a dental pick to get inside those cracks and crevices. So you got a clean casting. I invite you to go by to George's Miniature Cars. I want to share some Canadian love with my partner in Diecast, and George does unboxings, reviews, and he's got just an extensive collection that you're really going to enjoy. So follow the link that I've left in the description, please, and check it out and give some Diecast love to my friend George from Western Canada. I've made my own push bar out of a paper clip and a tomato can, which always comes in handy in some way or another. And here I've applied some of my own rivets, which I cut from the thinnest piece of styrene rod I've got. And you can compare the old one that I cut off with the new. Just a little bigger, a little beefier. I give that some primer and some silver paint. It'll get some black wash later on and gives it a more serious look. The theme that I've chosen today is red and blue because the city of Basel, where I live, has a local team, Football Club Basel. Those are their colors, and the fans are rabid. As you know, I take these finished customs to my local Goodwill shop, and this one's going to go first out of the grab bag, I think. If I put this logo on the hood and dress it up in these 2 very recognizable Basel, Switzerland colors, bright red and basic blue. Today, into my airbrush, these are Vallejo acrylic paints. They go on beautifully well and they clean up easily too. I'm going to take that dual color hood logo and then transfer the colors to the opposite sides of the car, just for interest's sake today. We're off to a good start. The Bronco was the first SUV manufactured and marketed by Ford. 5 generations of the Bronco were sold from 66 to 96. Originally developed as a compact off-road vehicle, the Bronco competed against the Jeep CJ5 and the International Harvester Scout. For 1978, Ford enlarged the Bronco, making it a short wheelbase version of the F-Series pickup truck. That full-size Bronco competed against the Chevy K5 Blazer and the Dodge Ram Charger. Following a decline in demand for large two-door SUVs, Ford discontinued the Bronco after the 96 model year, replacing it with the 4-door Ford Expedition. Time for a little channel PSA. I've been watching and commenting a little bit less lately on other videos, and that's not due to a lack of interest or support of your channel on my part, but more as a result of my own trying to complete all of my own summer builds before leaving on my vacation. And that means a week from now till mid-July, working on cars in the day and video editing in the evening. And I've also ramped up a lifelong habit of reading. Not that YouTube is bad for the brain or anything, but it's a personal choice I've made for this particular juncture in time, and I don't want to be another of the hobby burnout guys. I want to keep it fun and interesting and relaxing, so I hope you'll understand that. And I do want to say thank you for watching my videos like you are right now. I invite you to leave your respectful comments below and let me know what you think of the work that I'm doing, and please be sure to include where you're watching from, because for me, that's one of the most interesting parts, seeing a growing global community take an interest in Maple Leaf Customs. You can see the little Bronco coming to life now with the addition of the Football Club Basel decals in the colors of the team. And on both side panels, I'm also including 1893, which is the year the team was established. When you add a comment today, let me know if your favorite team or local club can go back that far in history. A little bit of bling by way of dollar store rhinestones and some interior detail are going to be the finishing touches on the 4x4 Bronco today. I think that adds a nice touch of realism. There's some fog lights on the DIY push bar and simply red highlights on the seats and the steering wheel. Does feel like a lot of plastic in my hands, these big chunky pieces, but I've added some personal touches with these modifications and upgrades that I hope you'll enjoy and appreciate. There's the shortened screw that you'll remember from the beginning of the video on the back post, and the last thing I'll do is attach the push bar on the front. Let's have a closer look now. You can see all the changes that I've made with the colors and the decal scheme and the refurbished wheels all around. They're original because they go back to the Goodwill store as toys for kids. I don't want to sink a lot of money into custom wheels on every single build. So if I can refurb original parts, I try to do that. There's a channel logo on the bottom and it rolls beautifully. Here's what I started out with. I thought it was hard to tell if it was coming or going. It's so short and stubby. And there's what I've turned it into. It's going to be a favorite for the local kids who are avid football followers around here. It's a big deal in Europe. You can see it from all angles, front and back and the sides, and I think it turned out pretty well. So thanks to the DIBs guys for sponsoring this build. Be sure to check them out by following the links in the description, and all the other people that have participated in the 4x4 series. I've got lots of other stuff coming up for you to see, and I wish you a great week. I hope you'll come back here soon and often. It's coffee time.